sucking the guts guys in Ghostbusters. Just doing some light reading. Fangoria. A lot of...
God damn it!
I had it too. I like that one.
Season 3, Episode 5, also known as... Damn it! Now I messed up.
Make you good at my part. It's okay. I didn't have my leg.
I lost my math skills. I was like, Season 3, Episode 5. What is that? Episode 90?
Damn it,
Franklin. My part is like genius at this point.
You couldn't do math a minute ago.
It's true.
That was good. That was pretty good.
Thank you, Bella Girl.
Hey guys, I'm Frank,
And this is Leo.
and welcome to a brand new episode of
Terror Recollect.
No, I don't like it.
What?
What a critic.
Hey guys, I'm Frank,
And I'm Leo.
and welcome to a brand new episode of
Terror Recollect.
Ring, ring, ring. Everyone, Season 3, Episode 5, also known as Episode 25, here coming at you, delivering on a promise that we made back in the first episode of Season 3, also known as Episode 21, that we were going to be highlighting our collections. Here we are. Frank, take it away.
Oh hi, didn't see you there. I was just flipping through some old Fangos. In a lot of ways, Fangoria has been a huge part of my horror education, a big part of my life. So please follow me on a little journey. I'm going to take you through some of my stuff. As far as vinyls go, not only are the scores killer, but the artwork is amazing as well. Fright Night, Halloween, Halloween 2, some of my favorites. And as you can see, I separate my movies. We got the core legends right here. We got Leatherface, we got Michael Myers, Ghostface, Freddy Krueger, Jason. I got my arrows over here. I got my Shout Factory releases right here. Nothing screams nostalgia for me more than the Goosebumps books. As a kid, you go into the Scholastic Book Fair with little to no money, hoping that you can afford one of these beauties. So it was a lifelong quest to own every single one of these, and I finally achieved that a couple years ago, and I got it set up the way I want it with a little custom sign. We have a little vampire section, so you got the Fright Night, Subspecies, Near Dark, things like that, the Dracula book. And coming down further is one of my favorite spots in my collection is my Stephen King collection. Graphic novels, books, VHS tapes, and then one of my favorite new pieces is a replica prop from Misery's Child, from the movie Misery that Paul Sheldon wrote.
We heard Paul Sheldon is still missing. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family. So, yeah.
Hopefully no crazy nurses
Yes.
picked them up.
Of all things.
And Dream Warrior is one of my favorite Elm Street entries, as is a lot of fans' favorite. So, and this showcases the Dream Warriors themselves. There's two different variants of that, by the way. There's a red and a blue. I chose the blue. I just like it better. Little hook replica from shout out to my friend Jose from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Midnight Mass, one of my favorite things of all time. Had to have a poster, had to display it, had to show it some love in some way. We'll talk about these posters of mine. So, Nightmare on Elm Street, a majority of the cast has signed from various conventions and signings, including Robert Englund, You're All My Children Now, Amanda Wyss, Heather Langenkamp, Lisa Wilcox, Bradley Gregg, pretty much all of the Dream Warriors, just about. Jennifer Rubin. Over here, Friday the 13th. Not as many, but still some very important ones. Adrian King, Tracy Savage, even Terry Kaiser, who played Dr. Cruz, a.k.a. Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's. He was fun.
Boiney.
Ron Sloan, Harry Manfredini, composer. Some really cool ones. And going a little bit further down, some Freddie love, some Dream Warriors love. Bradley Gregg's puppet that turns into Freddy right before he's killed. The Dokken vinyl record, a little Freddy figure, which I believe is Mezco. Below the Friday the 13th poster, Camp Crystal Lake. I actually stole this idea from Leo. So
I've
thank
since
you.
changed my display, so this is all Frank.
So Camp Crystal Lake, again, Etsy. Some beautiful hawks here. Part 3, 4-ish. Part 5, 6, one of my favorites, and Jason Goes to Hell. So these are like 4 of my favorite masks from the franchise. This countertop video store display of Jason Goes to Hell. Signed by Stephen Williams, a.k.a. Creighton Duke, and the director Adam Marcus. Now, Adam Marcus was so moved by my story that I told him and the appreciation I told him that I had for him, he signed not only the front, but the back. This is a double-sided standee, which is pretty cool. Another thing I stole from Leo, sorry Leo, but
All good.
it's too cool not to have, is this VCR that's always playing horror movies on in the background in this little corner of mine. I got some NECA Puppet Master figures, including the chest here. There's Torch, Pinhead, including some more rare VHS tapes, The Granny, and Cheerleader Camp. Got some board games, Halloween, Scream. Speaking of Jason and Freddy, a little bit more love down here from, I believe NECA did this Jason. This is from Freddy versus Jason. This is the 19-inch figure. And then standing behind him, very menacingly, because he doesn't like him, is Freddy Krueger from Dream Warriors. Something that's very near and dear to me, obviously, are my children, right? So, my daughter Bella, in her Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode cosplay. And you might remember Grayson from our episode 2, back in season 1, where we kind of showcased our time at Monsterpalooza. And now he is in the double digits.
Hi.
Not cosplaying as much anymore, but we still have our movie nights where I show him all the greats. What are some of your favorites, Grayson?
I know what you did last summer, like Halloween and stuff.
So I've done pretty good. I know what you did last summer, Halloween. Come on. Those are good.
Well done.
So one of my favorite franchises of all time, Halloween. You can't go wrong with that. I love everything about Halloween. And I had to have something that represents each movie in the franchise. At least I tried to. Because there are a lot of movies in this franchise. So on this corkboard, I kind of had this idea of throwing together just a mishmash of different items. Most of this, I think all of this is actually from Etsy, or at least a majority of it. Even Resurrection, got Dangertainment sticker over here. Got the Jamie Lloyd mask. The Cookie Woman sticker up there. Michael Myers Dead or Alive from Halloween 6 flyer. The Mrs. Myers Rabbit in Red Lounge ad. Even got the Vincent Drug advertisement up there. Silver Shamrock patch. Lots of little things that you can kind of find if you look hard enough. Lots of little Easter eggs, I would say. I'm one of those guys that prefers the Halloween 4 mask over the original one. Yeah, I said it. It's a hot take, but it's true. It's the only one that really terrified me. I had this custom base and mask holder for Halloween 4, again, from Etsy. These 1/6, moving on to the next stuff, these 1/6 scale figures, Halloween 4, the original Halloween is Dr. Loomis. Highly detailed figures. These Ultimates right below it, these 7-inch Ultimates are freaking amazing. I got one pretty much from each movie that they released, except Resurrection. I'm still coming to terms with that. I gotta try to get that. Also from Etsy back here, this Devil Eyes prop book replica. Let's see, I took the flames off of the H2 Myers and put them on the Ben Tramer Myers because he gets cooked. Moving along here, got the David Gordon Green Ultimate figures over here. Jamie Lee Curtis. I got this Dirt Nap Lamson replica. Trick or Treat Studios Lamson replica. And some of my newest favorite pieces are these little Ben Cooper Trick or Treaters. I've only collected just a handful of them so far. Just the ones that appeal to me the most. Leatherface, Michael Myers, and standing right in front of the model house of the Myers house. Thought they were doing a little bit trick-or-treating in front of it. Thought it looked kind of cool. Got some Trick or Treat Studios. I believe they're called window hangers from Halloween 4. They're supposed to look like something from like the 90s. I would say the 80s, 90s that we had. Those are really cool. I like those. And moving on down is Halloween Kills mask that my friend Leo gave me. Thank you, Leo.
You're very welcome.
And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Halloween stuff. My Scream section is pretty cool. I love it. So again, Etsy, it just kills it every time with these prop books. Got the Woodsboro Murders book, the College Terror book. I'll go back up to this Woodsboro book in a minute. This Hollywood Horror book, the Out of Darkness book from Scream 4. So this is Scream 2 up here, Scream 3 and 4 Love down here. Got the Maureen Prescott photos, the soundtracks, got the prop knife, the prop voice recorder from Scream 3. Up here, the Bradley video from the one that Randy worked at. Got a NECA figure. Soundtracks. Now this little thing, the Omega Kappa Beta necklace replica, again, off Etsy, that I actually had when I met Nev Campbell. I actually had her hold it while we took the photo. So that's one of my favorite pieces, actually, because of that. Now, one of my favorite pieces in my collection, without a doubt, is this book. And you're probably wondering, well, it looks cool, but what's so special about it? Well, I've been using it as a autograph book. So I've had, as I meet the cast, I have them sign it. Nev Campbell goes on the very first page, of course. And she starts it off with, "So, how's the book?" Well,
very apropos.
Nev, right. Nev, the book is amazing because I have Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard, Jack Quaid, Dermot Mulroney. I got a lot of people from each entry. Jamie Kennedy, even the GOAT, David Arquette. I'll smile when I catch the killer. It doesn't get any more badass than that, right?
Do we really?
Sheriff Burke. Never fuck with the daughter of a serial killer, Melissa Barrera. One of my favorite interactions. Leo knows why.
Awesome interaction.
So yeah, that's my autograph book, and it's very near. I only plan on adding more to it, so that's one of my favorite pieces. Moving down here, Trick or Treat Studios have been releasing some killer, again, no pun intended.
Pun completely intended.
1/1 scale replicas of Child's Play Good Guy dolls. This is the first version that they brought out. And I did a little tweak to it myself. So people sell on Etsy. It's not like a broken record. On Etsy, little voice boxes that say phrases and whatnot. So I actually cut a hole in his chest and I put it in there. So when you press on his chest.
Hi, I'm Mike. Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Hi-ho.
And finally.
Hey, wanna play?
So, I mean, it's pretty cool. I like that. I like the little update I made to it. Voodoo Priest that he kills.
John.
Yeah, that's him.
John.
The social worker.
From part 2?
From part 2 here. Gotta show some love, man. It's all about the Easter eggs. It's all about the little things that, if you can find it in the collection, you'll be like, oh, that's so cool. At least that's how I feel.
Absolutely.
And I gotta have the background. I know Leo gave me his empty box once, and
that one.
Yeah.
And then he used his to
mine
create this one.
to cut out and use.
Mine was in better condition.
Yeah.
It's a legit Good Guys box back there.
Legit Good Guys box. Next up is the Friday the 13th section, coming at you in full 3D effect because it feels like it's right here. Because it is here. Got some NECA figures up here. Mrs. Voorhees, part 2, part 3. Got some Etsy items down here. Got a Camp Crystal Lake postcard. Got a little stand display for the extra heads that these figures come with. Camp Crystal Lake sign. One of the best entries in the franchise, part 4, final chapter. Got a whole thing to itself right here. Zaxxon mask that Tommy Jarvis wears. The figure, the NECA figure, the VHS tape. the Fangoria issue highlighting Tom Savini's makeup effects for the movie. Got the Hacksaw replica that I got off Etsy that I just used for it. It looks pretty cool. Moving down here, parts 5 and 6, two of my favorites also. Every time you put part 6 VHS in, you would always see the advertisement trailer for Scream Greats Volume 1, Tom Savini Master of Horror Effects VHS, which is pretty cool. This is all NECA stuff. Got the head display down here as well for these. And then one of my favorite pieces for the Friday the 13th collection is this can of slop stew that's actually signed by Ron Sloan and Carol Locatall, who sadly passed away last year.
And it's signed by both, right?
It's signed by both, yeah. And unfortunately, I didn't get to meet her because she was sick at the time. But they were selling these at his table. I got to meet Ron, and that was pretty cool.
Ron's awesome.
Yeah, he is. So moving on down to this final section. Couple of the black sheeps here, I would say. But the figures are badass. So part 7, the Freddy versus Jason figure and the 09 figure. Got the Toonie Terror Jason right here. Got a Funko. This I actually got off Etsy. Is actually a little stand that's the 8-bit or 16-bit, 8-bit or 16-bit, 8-bit from the video game. And speaking of the video game, I got it right here. The Friday the 13th Nintendo video game. So, and if you can't see it in the far back, since I don't have the figure for Jason Takes Manhattan, there's a little pendant of the Statue of Liberty, supposed to represent the pendant necklace that Sean gives Rennie in the movie. So I thought that was a pretty cool addition. Until they bring out the figure, right?
That's right.
So there is my Friday the 13th collection. Very proud of it.
That was beautiful.
Next up is the Nightmare on Elm Street section, also coming to you in full 3D. And these in the dream world can be whatever I want them.
And aren't these from the theatrical run of Freddy's Dead?
These are. So if you give me those, yeah. So like in the theater, these were handed out because the third act of the movie, a small portion was filmed in 3D. So the advertisement for Suburban Commando and House Party 2. So these were actually the actual ones.
One of Frank's personal favorites, House Party 2.
Sure. So, starting up here, a bunch of NECA stuff, right? Got the head display again from Etsy. These Nancy Thompson Hypnosil bottle and pills. Up here we got the somewhat rare VHS collection. I'm not sure the distributor on that. But it's a pretty cool piece to have in the collection. The glove from Terror Gloves, or I believe, actually Night Terror Gloves. There's Terror Gloves and there's Night Terror Gloves. I think this one was from Night Terror Gloves. This is a part 1.
Not to be confused with Day Terror Gloves.
Right. So that's a part 1 glove. Got the Freddy 1, the stretched arms figure. The part 2 fire pool party Freddy. With the weird looking dog things.
You are all my children now.
Moving down a little bit. I got the car from the ending of the first movie. Moving down, part 3. This is one of my favorite entries. So, as I've said before, so you got the Tuxedo Freddy. I believe that's the Where's the Damn Bourbon scene. Syringe Freddy with the TV Freddy. The little puppet Freddy. There's the TV Freddy puppet, little house. The worm Freddy in the back there that tries to eat Patricia Arquette's character. So what's cool about the syringe glove is that these are actual syringes, and the liquid in here glows in the dark when you charge it with this UV light. So I'm going to come around very quickly. I'm going to charge it real quick. And I'm going to turn this light out. I'm going to turn this light out after I charge it. And it glows. That's cool, right?
Very nice.
That's pretty cool. And one of my favorite pieces. This is my favorite piece. Driving up to San Francisco. We met him at a convention. Stood in line 3 hours to meet the guy.
Worth every minute.
Absolutely. And while we were in line, we actually, someone held our place in line and we went to go talk to Amanda Wiss while we were waiting.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And he took his time with us, signed my glove, and he actually wore it 3 different times during that interaction.
And it's on video, too.
It's on video.
Wishing Frank a happy birthday.
Yep. And so he's the last person to ever wear this glove.
Amen.
His DNA is inside of it.
We could replicate him.
And I just might. So that's actually my favorite piece in my entire collection. Moving down, and I love pretty much all the entries in this. I've come to love part 5. So got to show some part 4 love and part 5 love here. Some more NECA figures. Got the comic book kill right here of Mark. Got the Debbie cockroach figure in the back. That Craven menu in the back is actually from Etsy as well. The Greetings from Hell with Tuesday Night is there, also from Etsy. And even this little Freddy necklace right here, Freddy glove necklace, we got that when we met Robert England.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. I've had it ever since. So, and then there's a signed picture of Robert England in the back here. That a friend of mine from the UK gave me. Thanks, Mark. Still have it. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
And moving down here now, other than Dream Warriors, I'd say New Nightmare is probably my favorite. So in the back here, you have the DVD box set, the original box set that they brought out. One of the best box sets to ever release, I would say, for any horror franchise. And then you have the NECA boiler right there at the bottom. It actually turns on, but I'm not going to turn that on right now. Toonie Terror, Freddy Krueger right here at the bottom. And this, I want to say McFarlane. I'm not sure on this figure right here, but it's New Nightmare Freddy. It's got the little script at the bottom there. With the worms and the eels and all that. It's pretty cool from the 3rd act of the movie. They were actually selling a few of these, and I got my hands on one. So it's the little Rex figure that Dylan has at the end of his bed that keeps the boogeyman or keeps the bad man away. So that's actually a pretty cool item to have. Actually, I'm glad I was able to score that. So in closing, that is pretty much my collection right there. I try to show love to not only the core slashers, but horror in general and all across the board. I love horror. It's been a part of my life since I was 4 years old, maybe even earlier. And the fact that I can sort of pay homage to the things that brought me so much joy as a kid and into my adulthood through this collection, that's awesome that I'm able to do that. Now let's take a look at Leo's collection. Leo, take it away.
Oh, hey! How did you get here? Oh, I thought we were just at Frank's house. Oh, I mean, if anything, this is actually a good place to start. We'll take a look at my Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster. So this was from a time we went to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery for a screening. That's signed by Alan Danziger, who played Jerry, Terry McMinn, who played Pam, the truck driver. We have Gunnar Hansen, rest in peace, Leatherface, Grandpa, the hitchhiker, Kirk, as well as Daniel Pearl, who was the cinematographer. And then down here, we have my Child's Play poster, signed by Catherine Hicks, who played the mom, Karen. We have Aunt Maggie over here. And then down here, a couple of imported autographs, Chris Sarandon, who played Mike Norris, and Kevin Yeager, who did the special effects and brought Chucky to life. So let's go ahead and check out the rest of my collection. Follow me. This way. So here we are in the continuation of my hallway. There's 2 pieces that I'm really proud of. These are the original Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3 UK quads, which are sideways posters that are displayed in the UK. These are theatrical posters. What I really love about Part 2 is that it shows the VHS art, which the theatrical US poster does not. And then this shows the 3D, which is, I always think is the coolest part of it being in 3D. And then over here we have the McFarlane 3D poster of the original part 1. Down here we have a mini final chapter poster. And then over here we have Poltergeist 3, a movie that's honestly near and dear to my heart. And over here we have the grandest spectacle of all, the video store. Follow me in. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in my pride of prides, my video store. So this is the action section here. I mean, how many of us loved going to the video store as kids, browsing all the different, category sections: action, horror, comedy, sci-fi. So, obviously I have a soft spot for action and for collecting VHS tapes. So here's a good amount, kind of goes right away all across the different, titles that a lot of us remember. And then up here in the top section, I have some 8x10s that I got signed over the years. So there's Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat, Scorpion, The Incredible Hulk, Batgirl, Stacy Nelkin from Halloween 3, Pamela Susan Shoot from Halloween 2, some TV love, Eileen Graff from Mr. Belvedere, Marla Pennington from Small Wonder, everyone knows Brooke Thies from Nightmare 3, and then a couple of other autographs. And then I kind of have the tops decorated with kind of just random vintage toys and stuff. And then down here we have the comedy section. Everybody loves comedy. And I must admit, it was actually Frank who inspired me and recommended that I have a comedy section. I'm very glad he did. It's the fun, uplifting part of this video store.
Yeah,
you get to see a lot of just fun titles from back in the day. It's not all about doom and gloom and blowing stuff up. These are all, who doesn't love to laugh? So we have a lot of good titles here. It's an absolute joy to be able to walk into this store and see VHS tapes. And like I said, who doesn't from our generation have wonderful memories of that? And now everyone's favorite section, the horror section. This is one of the main reasons why I wanted to have a video store in my house. I mean, we have all these titles. Everything is alphabetical, the same way you would find it in a video store to kind of give you that same effect. If you wanted a Child's Play movie, you had to go to the C's, etc., etc.
So what are some of your favorite tapes here?
Oh, by far one of them is Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College. I absolutely love that movie. It's just very, very fun. I love this 2-tape of It, of course, right next to Mutilator. Slightly out of alphabetical order, but, what are you going to do? I love having the Friday the 13th VHS collection, and I love having it dead center here. All 12 movies. This one's also a custom. And, I mean, who doesn't love the Jason Takes Manhattan artwork? What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, that's the one that stuck out to me at the video store just because of the colors.
Oh yeah, the colors are bright and vibrant. The movies,
yeah.
I mean, I love the movie, but not the best entry. We have some Hellraiser movies here. We have some Nightmare on Elm Streets below that. Some of the Omen movies, original CBS Fox releases, original media releases.
These are signed, right? These two?
This one is signed by Lisa Wilcox and Dan Hassel, who played Dan and Alice in Nightmare 5. Down here we have a couple of customs as well as the Full Moon movies, some of the lesser known. But then you have the Puppet Master movies, which are everyone's favorite, yours and mine included. Who doesn't love the Puppet Master artwork?
They're my favorites. I have this as my big poster in my living room.
Giant poster, which is awesome to see in Frank's living room. Absolutely. And then we have below there, we have some of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. We have the couple of customs there as well. We have the Slumber Party Massacre series down there. Who doesn't love Slumber Party Massacre? Such a great series of films. Academy Award winners, I believe. We have the Sleepaway Camp movies, the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. I actually love all 5 of them. They're all great movies.
Including Scanners, your
Scanners
favorite?
is a terrible, boring movie, but I love the artwork. Phantasm movies, the Pet Sematary movies, Piranha, just great titles. Maniac Cop. And I absolutely love, love, love Leprechaun. Just it's fun. Everything about Leprechaun is fun. The way Warwick Davis played him is just sensational. It's just a fun movie to always have on in the background. The Halloween movies, I love having originals for these two. There's an earlier release on this, but this is the kind I saw in the video store, as well as the Halloween 2 with that stereo label and the MCA rainbow label. And then all these are originals, and then a couple of customs there as well. We have the Amityville movies, the Chud movies, Child's Play, Creep Show movies.
Alice, Sweet Alice.
Oh, that's such a great hidden title there, hidden classic. So yeah, I mean, this is just my favorite thing to be around, and I love that it takes up so much space, so much realty in this video store room. And then over here, we have something kind of unique. I named my video store Hollybuster Video. I worked at both Hollywood Video and Blockbuster Video. Those are actually my name tags there. So, you know, I had to call my video store something that kind of called tribute to those two things. Over here, we have a framed Jason Goes to Hell Laserdisc, because I think every home should have at least one framed Jason Goes to Hell Laserdisc. Down here, we actually have a Puppet Master chest that has no Puppet Master stuff in it. But I do have some tapes here. I have a little tribute to Wes Craven's New Nightmare with Freddy's clothing. That's his hat, his leather boots, his leather pants. I have some Terminator stuff over here, trading cards, magazines, Laserdisc VHS tapes. Over here I have some vintage signage, vintage lunch boxes. Over here, you know, vintage signs. I used to have a friend in high school who had carded action figures covering his walls. I always thought that was so cool, so I wanted to do that with just a few figures. So we have some figures from the Hellraiser series here. Below that, we have the Back to the Future stuff here, announcing its release on VHS tapes. We have the Ninja Turtles, we have Kickboxer, we have a signed Terminator Salvation poster, a couple of minis, The Crow, No Retreat, No Surrender. Up here is the pièce de résistance. This is an inflatable Hunt for Red October inflatable display. Hunt for Red October was on the trailers for Jason Takes Manhattan, and I felt like I had to get this into my collection just because it's very much representative of that love of watching that movie for the first time and really being excited for Hunt for Red October, although I didn't really like the movie when it came out. Over here, some more framed posters and stuff, framed toys or displayed toys. Who doesn't love Ninja Turtles Pie from back in the day? And then, of course, who doesn't love Ninja Turtles 3 action figures there? Everybody loves those. Turtles in Time.
Honestly jealous.
And then we have Miss Elizabeth, who was one of my favorite things from WWF back in the days. Love her. Some signatures, a couple more mini posters, some vintage TV guides, and a vintage display. Over here we have a signed poster for The Thing Called Love, signed by Dermot Mulroney from Scream 6 and Samantha Mathis from Super Mario Brothers, as well as obviously this movie. We have a 1/6 figure of Mrs. Voorhees, which Frank gave me. Thank you, Frank.
Wow.
And then we have a little NECA screen grabs of Jason pulling Alice into the lake. A vintage legs pantyhose display, because why not? The mask from Halloween 4, where the little kids are teasing Jamie. I think that's a very fun thing to have in my collection. I'd love to add the Frankenstein at some point. We have a cardboard video store display of Silence of the Lambs, which in and of itself is absolutely amazing. I actually used to have a version like this in my room as a 13-year-old. My mom made me throw it away, so as an adult, I bought it again. And then this section's just kind of a little bit of a mishmash tribute stuff. I have vintage newspapers from when Terminator 2 first came out, from when The Crow first came out, original vintage newspapers. And then just a bunch of fun stuff just kind of scattered about, Leatherface and Bates Motel stuff. kind of tying into Ed Gein theme because he inspired Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
What do you think about that, Anthony?
I like it, Clarice. And then down here we have what I always liked seeing in the movie theaters in the 90s is just like this themed kind of just fun carpet. So it's got like the popcorn, the film reels. I remember the movie theaters always had fun carpet designs like that, so I wanted that to be a part of it. And then over here I have the other and last side of the video store section of the tapes, and that's the big box section. Everything from sexploitation to horror. I've always loved this cover art. Other big box tapes. I've always loved how they draw women in horror artworks. I always thought that was really hot for some reason. Vintage superhero stuff, Faces of Death. I've always loved ants, specifically the creatures. I mean, the where there are is cool as well. And then, more superhero stuff, some kung fu movies, just kind of, I remember in the video stores, they always just had the big boxes in one section. So I kind of wanted to replicate that. There's more sexploitation here, and then Mexican exploitation tapes with very interesting artwork. I always thought that artwork was so cool. I have no idea if the movies are any good or not. And then everything down here is bookended, just because there's not as much room as I would like. But I love seeing them. Not every artwork has to be displayed, but it's always just fun to show and collect all the titles and then even show them spined is always fun. And then down here on the bottom, we have some Terminator stuff, some figures, and then panning up, we have my Rob Zombie Halloween 2 mask, and then the Halloween Ends mask from Trick or Treat Studios. The other one is from Ford Effects. And then that's a silicone mask for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, I believe, the Netflix one. And then, the Trick or Treat Studios chainsaw. And then one of my favorite pieces that I would always see is the Friday the 13th, Part 9, a.k.a. Jason Goes to Hell, life-size standee of Kane Hodder, looking amazing in that hockey mask with the machete up in the air. I mean, it's everything I wanted forever, and I tracked it down, and I have it, and it's not going anywhere. Absolutely love that piece. Who doesn't love Police Academy 5's artwork, as well as Slumber Party Massacre? And I always just kind of had a little love for Howard the Duck, so having that tape hanger in there is just, I love it. It's just fun thing to have. Down here we've got my NES system, vintage Nintendo Entertainment System from the 80s. We've got a vintage VCR, rewinder, a couple of the controllers, and some love for Friday the 13th Part 8. This is a present-day custom-made standee, kind of made to mimic the ones that were made back in the days. And then, of course, my Jason Takes Manhattan poster, signed by the actors, Jensen Daggett, who played Rennie. We have Kane Hodder, who played Jason, V.C. Dupree, who played Julius, Ken Kersinger, who was the stunt coordinator and fry cook, as well as the director and writer Rob Hedden. Going up, we have the Halloween Curse of Michael Myers Part 6, because that was the first one I saw in theaters, and same thing with Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare is the first one I saw in theaters. Both are Part 6s. Over here we have the Crow City of Angels mobile. That would be a hanger in the video stores. Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2 behind that. Some VHS tapes. We have the video store standee for The Crow, which was also a two-parter standee with Mother's Boys. A little shout out to Jamie Lee Curtis there. Below that we have the Child's Play 3 Chucky in the Box from Good Guys and Trick or Treat Studios. Below that is Part 2 Chucky with the ruler in his hand ready to beat a teacher and the chrome skull. Who doesn't love Chucky's chrome skull? And above that, we have the a cool piece to me. Back in the days when Terminator 2 first came out, they were being cross-promoted with Subway. So you would go to Subway and get a Subway cup with a Terminator cup and have a Terminator sandwich. So I always thought that was so cool. A couple of Shout Factory posters. Below that, we have the rental cards from video stores. Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, a couple mom and pop shops.
I only have my Blockbuster card, so that's really cool.
And it's right in front of your TV VCR combo.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
It's really cool that you have all of those.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Good memories. Some 8x10 signed by various horror celebrities. And then, of course, to me, the pièce de résistance, the Laserdisc section. I always thought Laserdiscs were so cool. It kind of felt like the ultimate you could have in home entertainment back in those days. So it's just fun to have these. The artwork is great. There's tons of them stacked behind each one. It's not just the ones in the front. And then over here we have some old school magazines also stacked all the way through. Just a fun thing to have. I really enjoy having this as part of my collection. It always felt like everybody's video store had to have that, so I've had to have that, of course. And then below that we have Terminator 2 sleeping bag, because I always thought that anything Terminator 2 is cool for me. And then, of course, a couple vintage board games, Mousetrap, Batman Forever. Frank and I actually have lots of fun still playing that game, Batman Forever. Such a fun game. Here it is. The ultimate raw moment. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what can we say other than the fact that it's hard to say, but this is the last episode of Terror Recollect. Episode 25, which I think is a good strong number to go out on.
I know we promised certain topics we would cover.
We only promised one other one.
Did we?
Yeah. We said we would do our top 5 horror openings. And then we also promised we were going to do a fan film called Taking Shape. So, 2 things that...
So we're liars. Sue us.
2 things that you may never know the answer to. What are our top 5 horror openings of all time?
One of my tops.
Oh, no!
My number 1 is Scream.
Oh. Yeah, we might as well just say that list so that we can go.
I don't know my list. I don't know.
Well,
I gotta think about
see.
it. I was not prepared for this.
Well,
I know my number 1. What's your number 1?
It would probably have to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre, with the pictures in the dark framing and snaps of the grave digging that's happening. But there's some other great ones too. The opening to Friday the 13th. You don't know what's happening. There's these campers just sitting around. And then, an unknown killer from their POV kills them. Any others that come to mind? While you're thinking of that, I'm going to circle back. It was kind of my thought process to kind of end our time on Terror Recollect for a couple of reasons. One of which, honestly, the editing portion, the filming portion is always so much fun. It's a great thing that Frank and I get a chance to do. That part I'm gonna miss terribly. But the hard part is the editing process, and then just the hope for the afterlife of the video. The making of it's the funnest part, but it's the hope for what's going to happen on YouTube. There's so much content on YouTube. There's so many podcasts. There's so much kind of calling for your attention in the world of entertainment. And, I really love my job. It keeps me busy. Frank has a family. It's not like we have a whole lot of time to do everything. And I don't necessarily feel the need to kind of keep coming up with content. And like I said, I feel like 25 is a good number to go out on. That's 2.5 seasons if you're looking at it from a season's point of view. And I'm extraordinarily proud of what we have done regardless of viewership. So the idea is not to try to fight for, viewers anymore, or attention or likes or comments. It's more of just, it was a way of expressing our passion for what we love. We did tease 6 topics. We delivered on 5 topics. Like I said, the only 6th one is top favorite 5 horror openings. I've named 2. Frank's named 1. What do you say, Frank? You got any
Evil
more?
Dead remake. Evil Dead remake.
That is true.
And of course, the Ghost Ship. That's another one. Fun one.
I've actually never seen it.
The opening is good.
Okay.
So I've named 3 and he's only named 2. So now I'm ahead.
That he has.
Pressure's on.
I'm also going to go with The Shining. honestly completely awesome. So that makes 3 for me and 3 for Frank. So we're currently tied. Frank, you got 2 more?
I got one more for
All
sure.
right, I'm thinking as I'm talking.
The original Halloween. You know,
That's true.
That's a one-shot opening.
Yeah.
A tracking shot. That's got to be in everyone's top 5 horror openings, right?
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring up the fact that we didn't deliver on one, and we never made Taking Shape either. So, but the script for Taking Shape was really, really good. I think we talked about it a little bit in one of the episodes, but that'll be a forever lost classic that will live in the mind of Frank Shattuck and Leo Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some beauty to that too. It lives in the ether of the imagination, and I think that that's an awesome thing as well. It doesn't have to necessarily be made. But we still have to deliver on 2 more horror openings.
2 more for you.
2 more for me and 1 more for you.
Yep.
The opening for It, the 2017 movie. You have your 5th, Frank?
I do. I feel like I gotta say Nightmare on Elm Street.
I have my part 5.
Lay it on me.
It's Child's Play 2.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm
glad I thought of it.
And there, we delivered on our promise.
Woo! Taking Shape lives in the ether.
Can't talk shit now.
At all. We delivered. We killed it. Oh, this episode was packed. I'm glad that we did an episode that took place both at your house and at my house for our collections, because that's kind of reminiscent of the 4 episodes that we did remotely during the pandemic. So this was a nice little callback to that. Any last words, Frank?
Nope. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, it's been a fun ride. And we didn't start this to make money. We didn't start this.
I did.
For the views.
I did. Just kidding.
We did this because that's what we do every day when we hang out anyway. And we just didn't film it. So, and my wife's, idea is, why don't you guys just film it?
It was her recommendation. Absolutely.
And it's been a blast every single time.
A blast.
We haven't used that in a while.
No, it's been a while.
Blast.
Yeah, but it's been an absolute blast.
And it's given us the outlet to kind of pay tribute to our favorite classics and these things that we grew up with that's brought us so much joy.
Frank has a good point. We basically just kind of recorded not a staged version, but like staged in the sense of us sitting down and talking to a camera of our hangouts, because that's what it is. And I think that's where that passion is, because we both have this big passion for the for movies in general. We're both very expressive, and we both love the horror genre, and even just this particular era of horror films. When you have a friend that sees eye to eye with you on that, it's just fun. It's incredible. It's an actually incredible thing. And we just thought we'd record it and share it with the audience. But kind of sharing it doesn't necessarily feel like that's the priority anymore. Our one fan
was devastated when he found out.
We'll leave a P.O. box number so you can write your letter.
The outpour of letters.
The outpour of letter will come in. The outpour of letter will come in to the P.O. box. We'll make sure to keep it open. Operators are standing by. We'll leave a phone number on the bottom for your call to come in. Oh man, even our last episode is fun.
It's better than crying, because that's really what we want to do.
True.
Look at one t-shirt made.
Now we're having 3. One for you, one for me, and one for our fan. So
we were really not happy about having to do this part of it. We weren't looking forward to it, so it's nice to end on.
It's nice to end with a bit of a giggle and a laughter, because that's honestly Frank and I's friendship. We just laugh, and laughter truly is the best medicine.
That and horror movies.
Laughter and horror movies. And if you can find yourself a buddy like this guy who can make you laugh and watch horror movies with you, it's still very surreal to kind of close this chapter out.
That's why we keep dragging it on.
So we'll keep closing this for the next 5 minutes. So how about you, fan? What are your thoughts?
Leave a comment, a single comment down.
Leave a like. And one comment.
One like, one comment. Well, thank you, fan and everyone else that may have joined in along the way.
Someone who walked in while Fan was watching. If you typed in something else and you saw one of our videos, thank you for accidentally watching it the rest of the way through. Oh my god.
Once you got 10 minutes in, you're like, well, I'm already this far in.
At this point, I got 2 minutes left. Kind of want to know how it ends. Well, I was getting ready to say something serious. And I just started laughing because I heard Frank laugh. Oh, I can't think of a better way to have ended this series. Thank you all.
This has been Frank.
And this has been Leo.
And thank you for joining us on
Terror Recollect. Thank you.